From bailiffs pretending to be police officers,
here to collect the local authorities' council tax,
to hilarious ways to deal with them.
I suggest you don't come back again without the correct paperwork.
Welcome back to the Vultures. In this first clip, a bailiff turns up at Paul's house acting like he's got the same powers as the police. He claims he's got a warrant that lets him force entry if Paul doesn't pay up, but Paul's done his homework and calmly puts the bailiff in his place, all on camera.
Do you know it's not a criminal matter?
What's a criminal matter?
This, because your office lied to me.
In what respects?
I sent them a letter
Yep.
after everything happened,
Yep.
and I said, I want to ask one question. Can your company
Yep.
use force to
Yep.
enter my house to
Yep.
collect the goods? And I will answer you and let you know what we'll do with this case.
Yep.
Your company came back
Yep.
and said we can apply for a warrant
Yep.
to come in and break into your house, or use force or reasonable force to come into your house,
Yep.
which you know
Yeah.
is wrong.
No, it's right.
No, you cannot go use force to come for a parking
can.
ticket. You cannot use force to come for a parking ticket.
It's a live warrant.
That is not a live warrant.
Warrant's been issued by Harrow County.
Right, that is not a live warrant, mate. Where's the stamp? Where's the court
Warrant
stamp?
of control.
Where's the court stamp? That's a warrant of control.
You don't listen.
You can't
I'm
use
trying
force to
explain-
warrant.
Listen, I'm trying to explain to you.
Right, you cannot use
This is a
force to warrant of control.
Can I explain
Go on,
first?
go on.
Warrant of control is a warrant to be able to remove.
Remember, you're on
goods from
video,
the
by the way, and
property,
you've been recorded,
which
okay?
you're not allowed to use. That's also a criminal offence.
You obviously know nothing about your job, mate.
Paul's absolutely right. The bailiff has no legal power to force entry or seize goods. There's no court stamp on the so-called warrant he's waving around, even though he's acting like he's a police officer. On top of that, he tries to claim it's illegal for Paul to film him while standing on Paul's property, which is complete nonsense. If you're out in public view, anyone has the right to record you.
I'm an ex-copper. I think I do know.
Right,
Right. That is.
right. Chief Inspector,
Yeah.
right, Metropolitan Police,
Yeah.
right, came out, and it's on the Metropolitan Police website. You
Yeah.
can film anyone in public,
Right.
especially on private property.
Okay.
Okay.
But you can't use it.
Of course you can.
Warrant of control is to remove goods from a property. Yes.
If I sign it,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna sign it.
1 second.
Ain't gonna use force.
Listen. If we can gain access to the property, warrant of control is to remove goods.
Yes.
If we then refused access, we then obtain a secondary warrant from the court, which is then to be able to enter. That is
Okay.
a second warrant. Okay. Paperwork's there, sir. You can keep
You
arguing
can go
about
away and
it.
you can go back to the court and you can ask them. But listen, no one has ever been granted the use of reasonable force to enter someone's house over a
Okay.
parking ticket, not since it was
Sir,
criminal.
You owe the bill, not me.
You're an ex-police officer, and you don't even know that we're allowed to film you.
Sir, I didn't say. I said you can't use it.
Of course I could. What?
You can carry on.
Listen, with all the CCTV everywhere, yeah? Right,
Yeah.
filming everybody, do you think they can't use it?
I have to give you permission to
No,
use
you have to give me permission.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
You can carry on arguing, but you owe the
Look,
bill.
I didn't even want to argue with you, mate, but obviously if you don't even know
It's not me that owes the
that
bill.
simple part of your job. Thank you.
Paul was understandably confused. This ex-police officer was clearly trying to carry over his old authority into his new role as a bailiff. Makes you wonder how often he's pulling this kind of stunt. That said, Paul handled the situation brilliantly. Next up, a bailiff turns up at Abdul's house claiming he's got a warrant to either collect payment on the spot or force entry to take goods worth the amount owed. Abdul admits he does owe one of the fines and is already working on a payment plan, but that doesn't stop him from calmly educating the bailiff on what he can and can't do.
And what court has that come from?
Northampton County Court.
Northampton County Court.
All parking fines are dealt on the same court.
Right, okay. Where's the signature?
As I say, the council hold the original warrants because they've
They
applied
hold.
for it through the council.
Right, okay.
They send their appointed representative to the council to the courts to obtain the warrant, and then they hold the original warrant, and then this is the warrant
Yeah.
of copy of the warrant
Yeah.
of execution.
Yeah, but obviously the warrant, I need to see the proper warrant with the signature on
They
it.
don't release it to us, obviously, for obvious reasons. They don't want us to lose it. They've applied to the court for it.
Yes,
So
well, obviously.
they actually hold it, so you'd have to see them if you want to see the original.
You heard that right. The bailiff turned up without any actual court paperwork authorising him to collect payment. Apparently, he can't be trusted to hold on to the documents in case he loses them. Yet somehow, we're meant to believe he can be trusted to force entry and demand money. Makes no sense, does it?
We're their
Yeah.
appointed representative to
Yes,
pursue.
I do know that, but obviously you have...
You've been here before. You know this situation.
Sorry?
You've had somebody call on you before about fines like this.
Yes, I have, yes.
Yeah. So you're aware of how it works.
Oh yes, I'm certainly aware. It's all fraud. It's all fraud because that paperwork there, it's not worth the paper it's written on.
So it's only a copy of what's
but-
the original. The original is held by the council.
Yeah,
just
but-
for us to have.
Yeah,
so
but
we've
no,
got the
but,
information
but,
supporting.
but for you to have lawful authority to collect money, you can't just come to my house and say you want £1,200 without no proper paperwork. I'm not paying you because obviously there's no lawful paperwork.
So what's the situation now then? You're not going to.
No, the best thing to
fines at
do
all?
is pass it back to the client, Leicester City Council. Yeah, because obviously I don't want to be harassed again from Rosendale's or any other debt collections agency.
Abdul handled the bailiff in the best way possible. He let him talk and show exactly what kind of bailiff he really is. And the moment the bailiff claimed he could force entry, Abdul hit back with the facts and sent him packing without paying a penny. Clearly, this bailiff isn't used to dealing with people who actually know their rights. In this clip, Harry's confronted by a bailiff who boldly claims he doesn't need a warrant to enter the house. But Harry doesn't waste any time. He shuts him down quickly and sends him on his way.
And you're telling me that to gain entry you don't need a warrant? You don't need a warrant? What do you need? Have you got the liability order with you?
No, we don't carry them. We're not required to.
So you think you're going to get through this door without any paperwork whatsoever? Do you have some kind of authority over us? This is our castle. And every Englishman's home is his castle, is it not? I've been in touch with the council on numerous occasions asking what law obliges them to pay council tax. They haven't even answered it. They haven't sent us a true bill. There's no contract. So I don't know where you're getting your powers from, but you've got no power of authority to get through that door, mate.
Leave the details in the front.
If you leave it, I'll charge you for it.
That's up to you.
Okay? I suggest you don't come back again without the correct paperwork. Okay?
This is how they get payments, by bending the truth, breaking the law, and trying to scare vulnerable people. And clearly, it works, because he's doing it without hesitation. But this time, he's been caught out on camera by someone who knows his rights. And in our final clip, David comes face to face with a bailiff pretending to be a private agent sent by the council. But David isn't fooled.
All I know is you come knocking at my door telling me that you're from the local company.
Council.
Company.
Council.
Company.
Right.
Are you a branch of government?
No.
No, so you're a local company. You're there to make money, aren't you? When the council go to court, it is not the judiciary system taking somebody to court. It is the council. It's a company taking another company to court. It is a civil matter.
Go away, please. I'm trying to talk to a stupid person at the door.
So what are we going to do about it then? I'm not going to give you my name. I'm not going to tell you who I am. You're not going to enforce your paperwork onto me.
Well, can I leave a letter?
No, you cannot leave anything here whatsoever, I'm afraid.
Leave on the doorstep.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
So if you can pass it on to the
No, I'm not taking anything from you whatsoever.
I'll leave it there then.
You leave it there and I'll just... Thank you very much.
Okay, alright, thank you very much for your help.
Bye-bye. That doesn't belong to me. I'm not that person, so you are actually committing an offence. I've told you I'm not that person.
How am I committing then?
Well, you're leaving that on my doorstep. You believe that you're serving something to somebody. You have not given it to me. You've not handed it anywhere. So I suggest you pick that back up before I phone the police and tell them that I've got somebody at my door. I have children in the house. He has not shown me any identification and he's trying to extort money from me.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
David's absolutely right. This bailiff is just a third-party collector trying to make money off a civil debt owed to the council. David makes it clear he's not the person named on the letter and firmly tells them never to come back to his address. He knows his rights, and he understands that if anyone's going to ask for payment, it should be someone from the council, not some random bailiff. That's all for today's video. Which bailiff wound you up the most, and who handled it best? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit subscribe. It's completely free, and if you haven't already, check out our other videos. You won't regret it.